Hello and welcome to Ms. Jardine, Ms. Funnel, and Ms. Whips. Wonderful grade 2 class. Today we are going to read one of my favorite picture books, and Tango Makes 3. So educators, what we've done for you is we're going to give you a little sample of how we read this to our class. This book was a part of a bigger unit based on families, so it was using the social studies curriculum and the language arts. So let's begin. And Tango Makes 3.
So before we get into reading the story, let's look at the cover. Ooh, what do you think this story is about? And what evidence can you use to support that? What do you think the penguins in these pictures are feeling right now?
Wow, those are a lot of great suggestions and predictions. Let's find out what happens. And Tango Makes 3 by Justin Richardson and Peter Purnell, illustrated by Henry Cole. And Tango Makes 3. In the middle of New York City, there's a great big park called Central Park. Children love to play there. It has a toy boat pond where they can sail their boats. It has a carousel to ride on in the summer and an ice rink to skate on in the winter. Best of all, it has its very own zoo. Every day, families of all kinds go there to visit the animals that live there.
These pictures show a lot of families. What do you notice about the families in the picture? And now I'm wondering how these families can relate to the ones that we've been talking about. What do you think?
Wow, you made some great connections to the other books that we've read. Let's continue reading. But children and their parents aren't the only families at the zoo. The families make families of their own. There are red panda families with mothers and fathers and furry red panda bear cubs. There are monkey daddies and monkey mums raising noisy monkey babies. There are toad families and toucan families and cotton top tamarin families too. And in the penguin house, there are penguin families. Every year at the same time, the girl penguins start noticing the boy penguins, and the boy penguins start noticing the girls. When the right girl and the right boy find each other, they become a couple. Two penguins in the penguin house were a little bit different. One was named Roy and the other was named Silo. Roy and Silo were both boys, but they did everything together. They bowed to each other and walked together. They sang to each other, la 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 la, and swam together. Wherever Roy went, Silo went too. They didn't spend much time with the girl penguins, and the girl penguins didn't spend much time with them. Instead, Roy and Silo wound their necks around each other. Their keeper, Mr. Gramsci, noticed the two penguins and thought to himself, they must be in love.
Aw, look at these adorable penguins. What does love look like in your family?
Wow, those are some great examples of what love looks like in your families. Thank you, everyone who shared. Roy and Silo watched how the other penguins made a home. So they built a nest of stones for themselves. Every night, Roy and Silo slept there together, just like the other penguin couples. And every morning, Roy and Silo woke up together. But one day, Roy and Silo saw that the other couples could do something that they couldn't do.
So based on this picture, what do you think that something is? What can the other penguins do that Roy and Silo cannot? And how do you think this makes them feel?
Some of you, yeah, those sound about right. I love how you were using the pictures to explain your thoughts. Let's see. The mama penguin would lay an egg. Look, Johnny, that's what you said, isn't it? She and the papa penguin would take turns keeping the egg warm until finally it would hatch. And then there would be a baby penguin. Roy and Silo had no egg to sit on and keep warm. They had no baby chick to feed and cuddle in love. Their nest was nice, but it was a little empty.
Oh, well, this reminds me of some of the families that we've been talking about. Not all families need to have children. Sometimes families can't have children, or they decide that they don't want to have children. And they're still a family. That doesn't change. So what do you think about Roy and Silo never having children? Do you think that they will have children?
I don't know. Let's find out. One day, Roy found something that looked like what the other penguins were hatching, and he brought it to their nest. It was only a rock, but Silo carefully sat on it, and sat, and sat. When Silo got sleepy, he slept. And when Silo was done sleeping and sitting, he swam, and Roy sat. Day after day, Silo and Roy sat on the rock, but nothing happened. Then Mr. Gramsci got an idea. He found an egg that needed to be cared for. He brought it to Roy and Silo's nest. Roy and Silo knew just what to do. They moved the egg to the center of their nest. Every day they turned it so each side stayed warm. Some days Roy sat while Silo went for food. Other days it was Silo's turn to take care of their egg.
It seems to me like these penguin dads are taking pretty good care of their egg. How do your parents take care of you? How do you take care of your family?
All right. They sat in the morning and they sat at night. They sat through lunchtime and swim time and supper. They sat at the beginning of the month and they sat at the end of the month. And they sat all of the days in between. Until one day, they heard a sound coming from inside their egg. Beep, 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 beep. It said. Roy and Silo called back, squawk, squawk, beep, beep, answered the egg. Ooh, I wonder what's about to happen. Suddenly, a tiny hole appeared in the egg's shell. And then... crack! Out came their very own baby. She had fuzzy white feathers and furry black beak. Now, Roy and Silo were fathers. We'll call her Tango, Mr. Gramsci decided, because it takes two to make a tango. Roy and Silo taught Tango how to sing for them when she was hungry. Fa la 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 la. They fed her food from their beaks. They snuggled her in their nest at night. Tango was the very first penguin in the zoo to have two daddies. Soon, Tango grew strong enough to leave the nest. Roy and Silo took her for a swim, just like all the other penguin families. And all the children who came to the zoo could see Tango and her two fathers playing in the penguin house with the other penguins. Hooray, Roy! Hooray, Silo! Welcome, Tango! They cheered.
I like that even though their family may be a little different, they still do a lot of the same things that the other families do.
At night, the three penguins returned to their nest, and they snuggled together and, like all the other penguins in the penguin house and all the other animals in the zoo and all the families in the big city around them, they went to sleep. All right, so now we are going to read the author's note. I want everybody to sit and think about what we just read while I read this, okay? All right, author's note. All of the events in this story are true. Roy and Silo are called chinstrap penguins because of the delicate line of black feathers that loops under their beaks, as if to hold a hat in place. After years of living side by side in the Central Park Zoo, they discovered each other in 1998, so a little bit before you were born. And they have been a couple ever since. Tango, their only chick, was born from an egg laid by another penguin couple named Betty and Porky. That couple often hatched their own eggs, but they'd never been able to care for more than one at a time. In 2000, when Betty laid 2 fertile eggs, Rob Ramsey decided to give Roy, Silo, and one of those eggs a chance to become a family. What a nice idea. If you go to the Central Park Zoo, you can see Tango and her parents splashing about in the penguin house along with their friends including Nipper, Squawk, Charlie, Wasabi, and Pee-wee. There are 42 chinstrap penguins in the Central Park Zoo and over 10 million chinstrap penguins in the world. But there is only one Tango.
Oh, I really like this book.
Me too.
So now that we finished reading, what was your favorite part? And what were the main ideas in this text?
All right, thank you so much, educators, for sitting with us and listening to us read And Tango Makes 3. I hope that this helps you with some of your future lessons. Now, if you want, you can always go to our website where you can see the lessons we did for this unit. All right, bye for now.